popping, heart stopping. They don't care about my health, only when I'm dropping. Pill popping, heart stopping. The amount of money I spend on drugs, boy, it's fucking shocking. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Take it.
We on?
We on, baby.
Okay.
Welcome to Rapcast episode 2. We're back, baby.
Double.
Huge success on the first one. Almost 100 views on YouTube.
We're blowing up like
it's
the
on
world trade.
Spotify. It's on Spotify. That's right.
Yeah, the most evil
We're moving.
fucking
That's true.
streaming service of them all. We got fucking hooked.
As you know, or as you should know by now maybe, I'm Andrew, aka Young JiZz, aka Bluebeard. To my right is...
And I am in the witness protection program because
new
of
6'9".
things that happened to me as a child.
And in the back, Josh, aka J Pasty, aka PJ Martian. To my right is Buddy Alex. We are the Rapcast, and we're here to talk to you about rap music. Where do you want to start? Okay, cut the whole thing.
All right.
I'm joking, don't cut anything.
You gotta answer that text.
No, I won't. Okay, do you want to be on the Rapcast or not? I can call you right now.
Holy shit.
Alright,
All right, let's get Eminem on the phone.
yeah, we want to get Chance on the cast for sure. That's our next
Yeah,
step,
that's
I
probably
think.
how we should start off the pod is my
We're
Twitter
kinda famous.
is blowing up right now, okay?
Check it out at Alex JAGT,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
that's who I
I'll
am
put
on
a
Twitter.
text on the thing.
And I'm huge in Chance the Rapper Twitter world right now because of my tweet. I said, and I quote,
Say
damn,
it.
this Chance the Rapper verse is good, but you know what it needs? More bars about punching the devil. Ironically, but that's the thing. It was positive enough that Chance actually liked the tweet, or his media person.
Probably media person.
But regardless, it got like 26 or 7 likes, 4 retweets.
A bunch of replies. I think a few replies, I think. We linked the Rapcast as well.
And I got 1 new follower, so...
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, shout out.
Also,
To you.
Chance, if you are listening, we failed to mention one thing when we were talking about your stuff, that The Big Day does have some good songs. So I'm going to list a few of my favorites from the album real quick before we get into anything. Fucking figure it out here.
The song with Shawn Mendes on it, though, is terrible.
No, that sucks. Sorry,
Terrible.
Chance. All Day Long, the first track with John Legend is good. Do You Remember with the Death Cab for Cutie guy?
Yeah,
is
shout out
good.
Death Cab.
Eternals with Smino is good. Hot Shower is kind of a guilty pleasure song. It's a meme song, you know, but it's not. It's kind of hard.
No, it's not good.
Okay, well, that's just me, I guess.
But I kept it on my phone as well.
Yeah.
Just for the meme quality of it, I think.
We Go High is pretty good. 5-Year Plan and Some Come Down are my favorites on the tape. The rest, we don't have to say it because we said it last time.
Yeah. Okay. We don't want to talk too much about Chance.
No, this isn't a Chance cast. It's the Rapcast. Speaking of rap, I guess this doesn't have to do with just rap, but it's the middle of summer where we are, August 5th or so.
Yeah.
It's fucking pretty hot out still. I kind of want to talk about songs of the summer, if this summer deserves a song, like, because usually, like, the song, people that dub the song of the summer is like a song you hear out all the time at parties, at clubs, at patios, just out on the street.
Yeah, pool party.
But we can't really have that right now, or you shouldn't. Wear a mask, everyone, still. Fuck you, Florida. But
Yeah, or don't, whatever.
All right.
All right, quick train break.
As you know us, as you know, we live beside train tracks.
This train's gonna take forever.
Roll up the windows. Let's continue talking. So does this song, or does this summer have a song?
Yeah,
a
summer
specific
2020.
Song? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's I mean, What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow.
Yeah, that one's up there for me.
It's pretty much
too.
the closest thing we have right now.
Yeah, the remix, especially with DaBaby, Wayne, and Tory Lanez, is a great song.
Yeah, Tory Lanez has a good verse, and he
Canada.
Yeah.
Does that Canada?
Speaking of ad libs,
ad lib
Canada
is fantastic. Apparently he does that on a lot of his songs, but I don't listen to Tory Lanez like that. So, and also kind of fuck Tory Lanez because he shot Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, we never. That's still under investigation.
Yeah.
The books will be written about this.
Yeah, for sure.
20 years from now, the information will come out. And probably, I'm thinking CIA is involved somehow.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Tory Lanez Illuminati.
People don't just get shot for no reason.
Yeah, that whole situation was sketchy as fuck. But we were kind of late to the game. I don't really feel talking about it.
Nah, that's from before we had a Rapcast.
Yeah, it's old news.
No talking about...
If there's updates, I guess we'll let you know, but...
Yeah,
What's Poppin' is a good one. If we're talking about universal, like, songs that would... Like, 'cause I have my personal summer songs, but if we're talking about, like, kind of the like a...
Personal summer songs.
It sounds...
That would be a sick mixtape to put out.
Yeah, personal summer songs. But in terms of more of a universal summer song, What's Poppin', I'd say maybe even... She's been through some kind of hot water, but Say So, Doja Cat, it was late last year, but it didn't get like a summer. But I feel like I would still be hearing that song out all the time in the summer.
I can't quite tell if Say So is really a hit, or if it's just like there's so little going on in the music game right now that like... No,
it's a hit. Even before COVID and everything, it was a hit. Heard out at clubs all the time and stuff.
I didn't even know it. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much of a song for like you would hear in a commercial for Tide. It's like
in the future, it's gonna be the new fucking.
It didn't quite have the edginess of like, because when you say summer song, what comes to mind immediately for me is Fetty Wap. I say, hey, what's up, hello.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy summer
and
song.
the summer of Fetty Wap, which I think was 2017.
Oh man,
that was the epitome of,
I think that was my ringtone at that summer too. Or there was like I had like a notification of like his squaw or whatever was like, because he controlled those like 3-4 months.
We forget how big Fetty Wap was.
Like.
But he's still around, I think.
He's like Designer around, where he's still around, but no one really gives a shit.
No, he's not as bad as Designer.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, if Designer or Fetty Wap or someone like that had stolen parts of our song recently, no one would ever know. We wouldn't know.
Our song?
Yeah, if Fetty Wap stole Charlie Sheen or whatever, we would never know because no one that we surround ourselves with still listens to Fetty Wap. So he could still be fucking, he could be, oh my god, we're gonna die in here.
Just before we suffocate.
Yeah, let's get my Fetty Wap take off.
Whew.
Jesus Christ.
But
to me, Song of the Summer also personally has to sound kind of summery too. Has to have like those steel drums, has to have the steel drums, but like has to have a certain sound to it that could be summery. What's Poppin' doesn't necessarily have that, but it's a song that is out all the time. It would be a summer song if people were going out all the time, I think.
Yeah, Alex, can I borrow the mic for a second? I got something to say. Just for the record, fuck steel drums. I hate them. They're my least favorite instrument of all time.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Hot take.
We could have
by the way, Alex, you were holding the mic backwards the entire time.
Oh, shit.
That's alright.
It's all good.
You can still hear me? Okay,
yeah.
Chill. Okay, well...
We can have a whole...
That opinion taken about steel drums. I don't really have strong opinions about steel drums, but if you're out there in Jamaica, you're drinking a fucking pina colada and shit, I don't see how you could sit there and be like, well, I hate this steel drum.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's trying to enjoy their vacation time, and Josh goes up to the DJ
and has a whole rant.
Okay, I need to educate you. Okay, the 4/2 beat, fucking,
it's 2/2, not 1/2. You fucking bitch.
No, but when you said steel drum, that made me think of "Pull Up with a Demon on God." What's that song called? Yeah,
ZZ. I thought of "Summertime Magic" by Childish Gambino, which is a great summer song. And if you say you don't like that song, I will hurt you physically.
It's not that I don't like the song. It's just that as like steel drums have like a fucking Pavlov's dog's fucking response for me, where it's like I just think of like being in the sweltering, unbearable heat, up to the point where it's like it's not even enjoyable. Like there's a certain level of heat that's like summer for the summer that's like enjoyable.
Well,
it feels like summer. But
if you're scared of the beach, then I don't think the summer rap song discussion is really gonna be your.
Also, you're just very anti-reggae overall, which is a whole other conversation that we'll have to have on the Rapcast at some point. But getting back to the topic, I also think the song, I don't know if you've heard it, "Pop Star" by Drake and DJ Khaled would be a summer song. It's Drake, it's DJ Khaled. It would.
I forget that song.
He had two. There was "Grease" and then there was "Pop Star."
Oh,
Grease
this one
sucked.
recently came out.
Yeah, it was recent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, within the Drake world, I guess those people are on a different world. Like as far as, I don't know about the new Drake songs and which ones are considered good or bad. Or I haven't dove into. What's the fucking past tense for dive?
Dove? I think dove, right? Divin?
But if you've done it in the past.
Yeah.
I haven't dove into it.
Right.
Yeah, no, that sounds right to me.
I also think certain summer songs this year kind of more universally would be, there's two, I listened to the Juice WRLD album not too long ago. It's kind of, Juice WRLD isn't really for me, I kind of concluded, but there are songs undeniably on there that are catchy, that are good songs. To me, Wishing Well and Come and Go would be really popping right now out in the summertime if we had popping places in the summertime. To be fair, we're phase 3, but none of us are really going out to patios and like that, so.
I wonder what, I mean, I guess with music, the only thing you can go off of is like the streams because there are no live venues or clubs really open right now. But I would wonder what they're playing on like a more hip patio party thing, because everyone's kind of just waiting to release their quarantine album at this point. Taylor Swift already did it.
She probably has a summer song. Fuck, who knows?
But I don't really fuck with Taylor Swift. But the point is, I think there's going to be more and more rappers coming out of an isolation with like a whole project about some crazy concept thing, because you can't really be out there
with party music,
getting
like
the party music vibe. Because I feel like to make party music, you have to be at parties and talking to people and seeing what makes them want to dance and shit. And without that part of the culture existing, it's just I don't know. It just feels slightly different, but the world is not completely, it's like we're just getting used to this new reality. So it's not like we're never going to dance or go to parties ever again. But that
to that point, I do kind of think that also kind of in this time, we're starting to see more of an uprise in music overall in the past like kind of month or so. Like people are starting to be more comfortable releasing music. I do think there are going to be some albums that are just feel-good tracks like that, just to like no concept at all, just like happy kind of like trap, kind of like innocent kind of party songs, just because people might want to hear that kind of stuff right now. Even though it might not be the environment for it, people might want to hear just like a fun time kind of song instead of like a whole concept, like whole kind of dark introspective shit. I think there'll be both kind of to me. Yeah,
I guess it's really what I'm trying to get at is more just the long-term effects of just something as crazy as coronavirus changing the culture of what people want and what how they express themselves. But that's a thing that takes way long. We won't fully see it until like 2 years later, when there's a vaccine or when we're in the new world instead of
we're still kind of in this limbo here.
So it's like people are still going off their memories or they're trying to live in complete denial that there's a pandemic going on.
For sure.
Which is part of that, of just putting a party song on and just turning your brain off and not thinking at all about but as far as like what this summer has been also about with the protests of the George Floyd thing, there was a couple of songs that came out around that with Lil Baby and
Anderson .Paak had a great one.
Anderson .Paak. Lockdown was a pretty good.
Denzel Curry.
You might be able to say that's a
summer song in itself, but not to the same,
because it embodies what summer 2020 was all about.
Exactly, not to the same extent of like a summery type of sounding track or a song that you would hear out in clubs and shit. Since we're not really living that kind of life right now, should the summer song kind of content be adjusted for this summer because it's been so different.
Oh, shit.
This camera. Sorry, ladies and gents. That's better.
Yeah.
I think a few other contenders could be some of the Jhené Aiko songs on Chilombo, because they're very kind of summery, kind of, that she has that kind of style.
Yeah, I'm just getting into Chilombo, but I haven't quite heard the whole album yet. It's a really long album.
It's long, yeah, and with the deluxe too, it's huge.
Yeah,
not all songs are great on that album, but songs like Trying to Smoke and Summer 2020 Interlude and the song with Nas, 10,000 Hours, are good summer songs to me because they kind of embody that kind of previous summer sound.
Yeah.
Also,
I like the song with Nas as well.
Yeah, there was one more that I thought of. Oh, could I shoot me down if this is insane?
Okay, here we go.
Could I consider Feels Like Summer to be the summer song again this year because it got re-released on Childish Gambino album?
Yeah, it can be within this car and this car
okay,
only.
All right, yeah.
Because
all right, fair.
Because yeah, that new Childish Gambino album, I feel like was very slept on and
100%,
underappreciated.
100%.
When I thought it was really good, like on par with all his other albums.
Yeah, I think it's easily top 3 this year for me. I think I understand kind of though, just because it's a blank album cover with no title and none of the tracks have titles, so it's not the most approachable album in the world. But for a name as big enough as Childish Gambino, you'd think it would get more recognition, but sadly it didn't.
Yeah, overall, I think the criticism that some people are making of that album, which we can't remember what it's called because it's called like
3:15:20 is exactly what it's called.
But that some of the ideas weren't as well developed on the album, and that it seemed kind of thrown together, or it wasn't explained very well, like what exactly he was going for.
Right. I definitely think it's more experimental than some of his previous work, kind of up there with Because of the Internet in terms of experimental. I don't think that's a fault though.
No, I think it's a fair criticism, but despite that, I still really like the album, aside from like maybe one or two songs.
Yeah, there's certain songs that album works better as listening to it as a full album rather than listening to certain tracks on it. There are certain tracks like the one with Ariana Grande and one with 21 Savage and the final track that you can kind of play wherever in like a playlist or anything, but certain songs pretty much only fit within the scheme of the album. But that's been the case with Because of the Internet too, which is my personal favorite Gambino album, so I don't see that as a problem for me personally. But yeah, I agree. I understand how that could deter people from enjoying the album.
Yeah, it's because Childish Gambino's discography is, to me, so, at least since Because the Internet has been so top notch, that this deviating slightly and not being as well thought out as Because the Internet, because
that had a whole script and a whole
Because the Internet.
I could have a whole podcast about Because of the Internet. I wrote a fucking 3,000 word essay about Because of the Internet Gambino, but a lot of it was about Because of the Internet last semester. But there's a whole universe behind that is so fucking cool.
Yeah, because that's like the peak of like how much effort you can put into a highly concept thing. Whereas this most recent album, not as. It doesn't have as much of a thesis statement to it at all, but there are certain themes that you can that come through that I noticed, like because I was just listening to this album today when I went for a bike ride, and whoa, what was that voice crack?
No, voice crack. Andrew was not coming back from the dead.
Shit!
I'm gonna edit that out personally. What were we saying?
Well, I was just saying that. It's just the thing I was thinking about was with that album is how the sounds of all the animal noises and nature kind of stuff that it's at the end of a couple of songs. That one really crazy like JiZz type song, where it's
like the tribal
all the
shit?
Tribal drums and all that stuff. Yeah, that one had a lot of animal noise, and there's this whole kind of thing about existence and some kind of Eastern philosophy stuff going on with the lyrics in general, I think, of the album. That kind of, I finally started to understand that earlier today.
And there's overall themes which are easier to pick up at first, just about kind of the end of the world and running out of time, and the fact that he released this in the middle of a pandemic isn't a coincidence to me. I think he was waiting for something like this to happen. Because it feels like Summer has that vibe too with it, and you can enjoy those songs without the theme to it or without the kind of like meaning behind it, but you can dig deeper into it, which is what I like about Gambino's music so much.
Yeah, and Feels Like Summer, he really touches on climate change and like feeling like we're at the end of, human civilization and we can't do anything to
He's
stop
not entirely wrong, honestly.
And then also with the song at the end about the violence, or it kind of about just the violence of living in the. Yeah, he's very much about like talking about, just I don't know, society.
Yeah, current
civilization.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of a breath of fresh air, just from considering his last album was "Awaken My Love," which was a fantastic album, but it didn't have that same kind of. I guess songs like "Boogeyman" had a kind of like a had a song to a zombies kind of thing would, but more so it was just like a feel good type of project for the most part, or at least on the surface. But
there's a political side to that album as well, but it's more. The concept of it is more based around just his personal life, having a child.
Exactly.
And, the point is...
It feels like summer.
Yeah. I actually just got this earlier today.
Oh.
This was, Chance's team, they reached out, and they sent me some lyrics to a new Chance song.
Oh. Brand new, Rapcast, brand new. Let's hear it.
So he actually let me do a short snippet from it as well.
Yo, this is breaking news.
So here we go.
Rapcast breaking news.
Here's the new Chance song.
Quite on set.
The devil is a doo-doo man. I don't mess with voodoo man. Jesus is my Superman. God has a new plan for my fam. So, new Chance.
Wow,
new Chance on the way.
That sounded really good.
Yeah.
Very change up of style from him. His voice almost sounds different, which I kind of like. But you still got the ass in there, which is good. You leaked the Chance too early.
Dude, Chance has his goons. He called Obama.
The same people that got his fucking review taken down from the one article.
Dude, Pitchfork is
coming after you. Well, that was insane. Chance the Rapper, we love you here.
A very exclusive new bit.
Also, tell Kenny Beats I said what's up, because he still hasn't responded to my DMs.
Yeah, okay, we should.
Ago.
That's a good segue. We're two young, creative rappers trying to break our way into the industry. Okay. Using pure talent, a little bit of elbow grease,
and really dumb
vintage
names,
teas.
Really dumb names that catch people's eyes, like Young JiZz.
Yeah, and fashion is another big part of it.
Oh yeah, I mean we're always dripping.
And in our attempts, our brushes with fame,
many brushes with fame.
We've gotten into some issues with the hip hop establishment is what we're gonna call them.
Yeah.
The establishment. Okay? And like Patrick or SpongeBob in that one episode where he goes on strike, we are going to take down the structures of the establishment of this.
Board by board.
Board by board. And Kenny Beats is number one on your shit list. So let's go.
Well, I'm trying to mend my relationship with Kenny Beats. It was off to a rocky start. So let me explain. He has been on Twitch recently doing just a bunch of music stuff on there. Thousands of people view this thing. It's like there's the comments on the side are crazy. Like you can't even take out like one specific message. So I'm like, all right, well my name is Young JiZz. If I'm going to get him to see anything, I have to kind of just troll him and be a nuisance, and then he'll notice me for good or for bad.
The art of the game, right there, trolling.
So there's the only way I was going to get noticed out of thousands of people, and I said, "Why your tattoos look like high school book drawings?"
got his ass.
Wasn't intentionally, it didn't really mean it. It wasn't intentionally even going after him. I was like, oh, I'm just going to troll him and see what happens. It was the first time ever joining in, and he immediately fucking pinpoints my comment and calls me out, and sends everyone in the chat after me to say fuck you and shit like that. Runs me out of the chat. The whole afternoon, I'm like, oh, damn.
Damn.
He really got me there, huh?
Did they say mean things about you?
They did.
They said, oh, you probably live in your mama's house.
Yeah,
young
you know
Young JiZz, get a new fucking pair of undies because they're too crusty.
Yeah, they called out my name for being sus, which is completely fair. But then I left the stream pretty soon after that, and then I didn't realize afterwards. He was like, you know what, young JiZz, I feel bad about calling you out before like that. You know, let's make amends. And I wasn't even there for it. And he was playing a track, and he's like, yo, young JiZz, I wonder if you could hop on this. And I wasn't even there, so I missed that gateway into the music industry. There's clips of it. I might be able to put it into this episode. So you can see for yourself.
I mean, you did an IG post about it. That
Twitter, I posted everywhere about it.
I threw it a like, but yeah, you didn't quite break into the, you know.
No, but then later on, I was on his chat the next day or a few days after that, saying like, yo, Kenny, I'm sorry I sent you an apology on Instagram.
Oh, man.
And then he says like, oh, yo, young JiZz, fucking, we called you out yesterday, man. I feel bad. Yo, I'll read your DM for sure. Still on scene, or still on not seen, I mean, still not read at all on Instagram. So, Kenny, still waiting for you to look at it.
Yeah.
JiZz the rapper. I don't even want to block you yet. I'm suspicious of you. You were signing up for a website and you were like, let me go with something like this. Young JiZz, you want to get on this? I feel bad. I was being emotional. I just got someone to sing a hook on this yesterday, so maybe you could do the verse. Check it out. Watch. I'll play the verse real quick. Let me drag it in here.
At this point, Kenny Beats is afraid
that 100%.
We're going to steal his spot.
100%. Because Fanny Pack is like the next... SuperFinger, Fanny Pack, we're the next up-and-coming people, so he's scared of what we can do. For sure. I agree with that.
And here's the rub on Kenny Beats.
The rub. Don't say the rub and mention Kenny Beats.
The whole don't overthink shit thing, that's his whole brand, is don't overthink shit. Which I get to a certain extent, you know, the whole anxiety wave, millennials.
Just chill.
They're too busy, you know, fucking being depressed and looking at video games and memes and stuff. But I just feel like also there's people who need to think more, need to put more thought into what they do.
100%.
I mean, just look at the fucking game right now. It's saturated with people.
Yeah, doing the same shit. Not thinking like, I'll just do it. Fuck it, you know? I'll do the simplest shit. And it somehow works for some people.
And I'm trying to think of what's like the lowest effort rapper that really, because there's usually some quality about the rapper or over their lyricism or what they do musically that propels them into, you know, like Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's with the antics and just his larger than life personality that more so than the music.
For sure.
And there's just so much, I don't know, there's just so much just shitty, like not saying anything unique at all, or even trying to write a song about something other than, you know, the same old fucking tried out, worn out ideas.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like, I'm sure it's one of these rappers that I don't even listen to, like Little TJ or Anna Lee Chopper or something. I was thinking like maybe Blueface, but even he has like that flow that's a little bit different, even though it's not like a completely new flow.
Blueface is because he's hilarious and like, just
about hilarious,
but just when he first popped off with that,
he had a moment
thing when he had the mop on the stage and shit, and he was like, it was funny for a while, but the music itself was very low effort and just lowest common denominator shit, and it's just
I'd say Nav might be up there for me in terms of lowest common denominator, just making the same old Toronto man's music, and it's just. Nav, it's enough already.
Yeah, Nav, more like Nuff.
Ooh, I like that. Nope. COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, right, COVID.
Alright, so we shit on Nav. That's good. I want to try to do that every podcast from now on. I gotta shit on Nav.
And I don't know. So I think at the heart of it, really, I'm just jealous of Kenny Beats. I mean, he's got an awesome
100%.
Life. He's friends.
100%.
He's friends with Vince Staples. I mean, just to hang out with Vince Staples even once. would be like the sickest thing ever, just because
Yeah.
he's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And just everything he does is just dope. Big love for Vince Staples.
Yeah,
Shout out.
for sure.
Long Beach in the house. Mamona Pork.
You can't say that. You're not from there.
Okay, true. Don't attack me.
Do you want to get into kind of the tracks that came out last week and some new stuff coming out what we're excited for? Or do we have anything else to kind of get to? I think we're going to save our Tyler the Conversation for another time.
We're going to create the Tyler Conversation.
Yeah. That's going to be a big one, so I don't feel like we actually have to rush it in the next like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have a podcast each 50 minutes on each song from Fire.
Yeah.
All right, big love out there to Action Bronson, aka Baklava. Put out a new single, Latin Grammys, last Friday. Next day the day after, we did episode 1.
Yep.
So this is going to be a running segment where we talk about new music. If something,
we're not going to talk about just anyone. We're going to talk about the people that we actually enjoy.
If it actually catches our eyes, worth talking about.
Yeah.
The video was really
hilarious.
Really cool. Like, they photoshopped him basically into the World's Strongest Man competition from like 1991 or something.
All deep faked, and it's so good. It's so good. The song itself is cool. We're both kind of pretty new Action Bronson fans because we kind of got into him with his last album with The Alchemist last year, which is like such a fucking good Alchemist can do no wrong.
Lamb Over Rice.
Such a great project. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it.
Came out last November.
Speak more on it while I fix this. There we go.
Action Bronson. I was somewhat reticent to get into Action Bronson way back when I first heard about him in 2013 or so, when he had the feature on the Acid Rap song from Acid Rap.
Mac Miller,
because he seemed like
moves on as well.
I don't know. I just didn't quite understand what his whole vibes was, and as a bearded fat guy, I was like, should I just get into another fat white bearded rapper? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I have heard like some of his like solo songs before, and I liked them. I wasn't completely blown away. It wasn't until this last album where I'm like, okay, this is fucking fire. I think with the right production, he's great. And just his bars, he's a really funny rapper. Like, there's hilarious bars on this new track too that I can't recall, but I laughed a few times.
Train break,
everyone. I forgot my water, so I guess we're just gonna sit and stare into the camera. Pass around the football, maybe.
All right, the train's gone.
Okay.
The point is, and one of the great things about his rhymes is that he has all kinds of knowledge about cooking and being like a gourmet chef. So you can put in bars about how she ordered chicken parmesan. And,
so many great food bars.
Taking your people out for octopus.
Souvlaki, he's had, I'm sure.
Yeah. He brings a lot of uniqueness to and it's like, I don't know, he really fit in the whole Vice world because he had like a few shows on Vice that were about like smoking weed and like
that
just being hilarious guy with a bunch of tattoos.
That Ancient Alien show was at least the first season. I didn't watch the second season much, but the first season was so fucking funny. Yeah, like, I guess like Tyler and Earl and like a few other like notable people. That was like, it was just so fun. The editing was great. I've seen a few episodes of Fuck That's Delicious. It's not really for me because I'm not really into the food shows like that. But his personality is just so infectious that I've always liked Action Bronson as a person. His music has never really
because
grabbed me until this last one.
But for a while, he was kind of the whole Vice thing, and like, oh great, another guy on Vice who has a show about smoking weed and wearing and having tattoos and being a cool, hipster millennial kind of guy. Like, he sort of seemed like he was kind of a joke, but it recently has been really proving himself with his music, with writing sick albums. Yeah,
and I think I do want to go back and listen to a few of his older ones to give him the old college try.
And he had a bar from the one bar that I remember from Latin Grammys was something about how I might not be able to see these toes, but I'll still fuck these hoes. So great. Shout out the fat community out there.
100%.
You know, even though he's actually been losing weight. I think he's
lost 90 pounds. So, congrats to Action. That's fantastic.
You know, generally, as a fat brother, I have to applaud any guy making it out of the.
I can edit that in. You don't have to. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but we're doing it with my own thigh.
As a fat thing.
That's how we do it.
Okay. I can't. Yeah, I'm appropriating on your culture.
You were fat as a child for a short period.
I was chubby.
Never really. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a beer belly, but that's about it.
And generally, it's great when but when Jonah Hill lost all that weight, he became a shittier person, in my opinion.
Just because mid-90s sucked.
Mid-90s was terrible, and just Jonah Hill just seems like a douche now. Back when he was fat, he was lovable, funny. Yeah. But he just couldn't be one of those Judd Apatow kind of guys, so he was like, no. But I mean, he's good in Wolf of Wall Street, but...
Haven't seen it still. That's on my list. I've really wanted to watch it, but it's
generally,
so long.
Fat celebrities, I approve of you losing weight.
Okay.
But I actually thought Adele was hotter when she was fat. Go on.
All right, so now that we're past that,
I got some strong opinions. Drew Carey, when he lost weight, that was good.
All right, I listened to the Dominic Fike album that came out last week.
Okay, this is interesting.
It was okay. There was a few songs that were okay in it, but didn't really tickle my fancy.
Fantano review of it, and
I completely agreed with everything he said.
He was really incensed with some bar about how hope I don't get Me Too'd.
Yeah,
and I was wondering what your thoughts were on that.
That's one of the better songs on the tape for me is Cancel Me. It's kind of like a cute little I hope I get canceled so I can spend time with my family kind of thing. I didn't really give a shit about the Me Too bar. It was kind of okay, he said it, but I don't really care. He's obviously not wanting to get Me Too. It's a tongue-in-cheek kind of song, so I didn't take it that seriously to me. But other than that, I did kind of agree with most of what he said. I probably would give the album a 4 or 5 out of 10 overall.
But do you support the cancellation of Dominic Fike?
No, because he hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
he went to jail, but I don't know what for.
But I can just see even just being nonchalant about and doing a joke bar about it.
It could age
especially
terribly.
With the proximity to Brockhampton, with the whole Amir Van controversy, which we'll someday get into a heated discussion about.
Josh will have to have his own mic for that one.
Yes.
And I'll have to leave the car for 5 minutes just to catch
We'll
my
have
breath.
to cut out long segments where I...
yeah.
But actually, we had
at one point we will all fist fight each other.
Yeah.
We had a pretty lively argument about Amir Van's cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dominic Fike, I don't think he's really famous enough to get canceled yet.
It could age terribly though. The song could age really badly.
But just with the fan base he's attracting by popping off partly because of his proximity to Brockhampton, that fan base is a little bit more cancel happy, where they're wanting to. There was a whole thing recently where Matt Champion was. They're going, but this is just Twitter stan.
There was
bullshit.
a whole, I remember reading that it was Brockhampton is over party on Twitter, and they were literally trying to cancel every single person on Brockhampton except for Joba and Dom. They were fucking Kevin Abstract's a pedophile, Matt Champion is a fucking abuser. I'm like, bro, shut, you don't have, what?
Yeah.
I don't even, it's just Twitter being Twitter.
Joba's a Nazi.
Toxic with that haircut, I could see it. That's just Twitter on their shit, so I'm not gonna give that any time of day.
Moving on from Dominic Fike, who I don't really like that much. But he has one good song that I mean.
There was no songs on this album that were as good as 3 Nights or Telephone Calls or Phone Calls with Kenny Beats.
That's the one that I remember when I hear Dominic Fike. I think that song.
Both those songs are by far the best thing he's made, and nothing on this album comes close.
They say all his music sounds the same anyway, so knowing that one good song, I feel like I don't really need to.
Moving on from Dominic Fike, a new kind of Lil Wayne Lucy dropped with a few of his label mates. I think Gouda Gouda and some other fucking person.
Man. I don't like those guys.
I know your opinion on that is strong. Mike Jones is the other guy I think on it, and he's actually pretty good.
Mike Jones, I like Mike Jones.
But Wayne goes off on it, but completely bodies both of them. It's not even a question. First half is better than the other half. It kind of beat switches halfway through. But it's always good to hear new Wayne.
Damn, I should have listened to this before
always
the pod.
Good to hear new Wayne. New Benny the Butcher album came out last week. I didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
No, but that's one we can probably get into on a further discussion of Griselda.
I do want to talk about Griselda.
We want to get into Griselda on one of these episodes, but we need to do more research and get hotter takes on it.
Yeah. New Lil Uzi and Future song dropped. I didn't listen to either of those. Did you?
You're just going through a list of things that we did not listen to either of us.
Well, I listened to the new DaBaby song. He has a whole deluxe out now. And everyone's like, oh, this is the best DaBaby sounded like forever, but he switches up his flow. I listened to it and I'm like, it just sounds like DaBaby still.
Same flow?
No, not kind of a different flow, but like it just still sounds like DaBaby, like a DaBaby song.
Yeah.
Hook is catchy, verse is okay. It's an okay song.
I recently heard the new DaBaby one that he's...
With Roddy Ricch?
Yeah, I think it's that one.
With a cop car.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good song.
So, thumbs up to DaBaby. But is that the song of the summer?
You can make an argument for that. It's not mine. It's not... It wouldn't be in either way of
he
either
says
sounding...
he says fuck a cop car, so that
yeah, that's true.
You get that whole thing in.
Yeah, you can make an argument for it. I wouldn't personally, just because I don't really listen to it like that, but yeah, there's an argument for that. I don't want to talk about it, but did you listen to the 6ix9ine song? I didn't. So if you didn't listen to it, then we don't have to talk about it.
I watched the video of him with Nicki Minaj, that song that came out.
Oh, that was a while back. There's a new one.
That was a long time ago.
Punjabi or something. He
put out a new one called Punjabi, where he's like clearly...
I didn't listen to that one.
But out in the streets of like New York, like spreading coronavirus around. Not only do you have to get let out of jail because of your asthma, because corona,
and now you're just
you have to go
out on the streets,
infect the world. No, the world does not need more Tekashi 6ix9ine, but unfortunately,
he's here.
He sold his soul to the devil. So
sold his soul to DJ Academics,
aka the devil.
Yeah, it's our weekly DJ Academics on the podcast. Let's get into some music that's dropping this week. I've mentioned it last week, but the Amine album is dropping. I'm really excited for that. He's released 3 singles for that, and they all sound great. You can make
I saw one of the songs that was.
You can make arguments for compensating with Young Thug being a song of the summer too. It has a good vibe to it.
Yeah, I haven't heard that song.
New Joji song I'm excited for with Diplo. I'm not sure about Diplo and Joji together. I don't know if we'll discuss
Joji on this podcast.
Oh, come on.
Because I just don't know anything really about him.
I guess.
Except that he used to be a YouTuber called Filthy Frank.
Yeah, I'm still going to update just because I'm going to talk about the people that I like and that we might collectively like or we might get into or something like that.
We'll see. We'll see if I sound off on Joji opinions.
Right. New Conway the Machine album this week. Again, with the Griselda grind. There's a new song with JID, IDK, DJ Scheme, and Kenny Mason. I'm not sure who Kenny Mason or DJ Scheme are, really. I'm always here for new JID. IDK has some pretty good tracks, so...
I think that's going to be a good song.
Yeah. New Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion track, that might be fucking huge. I'll probably listen to it. It might not be for me, but... Didn't you have a Megan Thee Stallion take that you wanted to get off?
That's a whole rant that maybe we'll listen to this song and then next week we'll see what our opinions are about this Megan Thee Stallion.
All right, so potential teasing for next week might be have a Megan Thee Stallion rant from Buddy Alex.
And it might get a little misogynistic. Okay.
Okay, just a fair warning for next week. Might have to cut out a lot of things for myself. New Weekend Juice WRLD song dropping. That's going to be huge as well, I'm sure.
The Weeknd and Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
have they had a song together before?
No.
So this is
it's gonna big. It's gonna be like number 1 for sure. Not that matters at all.
All right, prediction officially made. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of either of them, so it's not really looking out for it, but I liked a few songs off the Juice WRLD album. If I hear good things and good snippets of the song, then I might listen to it, but I'm not really that
I'm getting hot in
that keen about it. A few more here. Flatbush Zombies, new Flatbush Zombies song. I've been meaning to get into them for a while. And last but not least, new Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz song.
Yo.
potentially teaser
get it.
for Call the Grove 2 from their joint album a few years back that we're both pretty fond of.
Yeah, bring back Collie Grove.
So there's rumors. They've said before, both of them have said that they're going to do a new one, but that was like 2 years ago, and we haven't heard shit since. And now this seems like there might be kind of a little bit of a rollout for a new Call the Grove tape, which would be sick because we both like 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne a lot.
Yeah, 2 Chainz, one of the slept-on rappers in the game.
Mm-hmm. I think it's called Moneymaker or something like that. It sounds like a Lil Wayne 2 Chainz song.
It's probably about an ass. Or about someone who makes lots of money.
Yeah.
So that's mystery is going to be solved next week. Okay, we'll do that SpongeBob thing where they have like the mystery Pokemon and it's a fucking outline.
How is it a SpongeBob thing? Isn't it a Pokemon
no,
thing?
Pokemon.
He said 2 things. It's a SpongeBob and Pokemon thing.
God
they both
damn.
did it.
It's Pokemon, but it'll be the outline of Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
And if he's the guy that's the money maker, or if it's
both.
or if it's 2 Chainz,
both,
or both,
simply.
But we're gonna hold your feet to the flames, regardless. If your predictions turn out to be wrong, then there will be punishments.
What do you mean for me? Like my predictions?
Well, you'll look like a fool online for making
if
wrong
they don't drop a
predictions.
song, or if it's not good.
Well, I guess we'll
I don't know if it's not good.
We'll on a more strong opinion, you'll be punished for your wrong opinions.
Okay.
If you predict something that you end up being totally wrong on.
Okay. Should we also?
We're fine. Anyway,
should we also say Kanye's dropping this week because he could and we don't know?
Yeah. Once again,
just
like
safe.
last week.
One of these days
Donda
will be right.
On the way, Donda.
One of these days.
And when it happens, I'm gonna go into silent retreat for a few days.
He's gonna go out to Wyoming in a fucking dome bubble.
I'm talking about domes.
And eat a bunch of mushrooms and just have a great time.
But I'm going up north on Friday, so it might happen while I'm gone.
True.
And if that happens,
are you going to be back for next Wednesday for next pod?
I'll be back on Friday or so. So
okay, yeah, we'll do. The next episode might be a little bit later.
But I might come. I don't know. Whatever. I'll play it by Schmear.
Yeah, and I will be working. Oh, also shout out Aiden, my roommate, for fucking getting us on Spotify. Fucking bless your soul.
Oh yeah, how'd you even do that?
He just messaged me out of the blue. He sent me a link to Spotify, and it was the Rapcast, and it was up there. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I love you. What did you like? How? And he said because he does it for their podcast. Shout out Hoser. Young JiZz was a guest on their most recent season of that. So check it out. That episode will be down below.
Right on.
So because they do it, they kind of post it on Spotify, and it's kind of just a really simple thing that he does to do it. And he was like, it was a walk in the park. It was just a little thing that I had to do. So all I have to do is send him the audio, and we have the video version for ourselves, and then the audio version goes up on Spotify. I don't have to do a thing. So that's pretty exciting,
dude.
Because we were gonna kind of wait a few episodes and see kind of what the vibe is. Just try to get it on Spotify because it's a lot of work. That's the camera shutting off, but we'll be okay because we're about to leave anyway.